If you watched the video files of the last episode that can be found here on YouTube, you already saw part of this episode because somebody recorded a piece of it over the top of the middle of the previous one. If you ever worked with VHS, you know how easy it is to do that. I don't fault anybody for it. Today, we get to see the context. But first, Control is explaining what freeway traffic is.
This is the most interesting human sporting event. The playing field is a giant concrete network, a puzzle designed for maximum confusion.
Well, he's partly right. I haven't tried to drive on the LA freeways since the early 70s, and I don't have a hankering to start doing it again now. We've seen Jesse drive one time so far with, mixed results.
It is very popular. Look, people are lining up to play.
I don't understand this game. Why is it so popular?
It must be enjoyable, too. They spend a great part of their day just sitting there having fun.
For most of them, whether it's fun or not depends on what's on the radio. Now, here's a question for commuters. If mass transit, like a light rail system, could free you from that, would you be willing to give up a little bit of the independence you get with your car? I used to work in the library at the University of Denver. It was a great job, one of my favorites. The problem was it didn't pay all that great, and I lived way up at the north end of the city, which meant over an hour commute each way. I must have done that for a good 2 days. I started taking the bus. That meant walking to bus stops, waiting for specific times. Coming home, I had to change buses, and you know something? Compared to this, that stuff wasn't even inconvenient. I could read, watch people, catch a little nap, anything I wanted to do. Try that when you're in the middle of this. Speaking of the radio, I heard a wonderful little smackdown statement on the radio one day. Unfortunately, I have no idea what station it was or who said it. But what she said was, remember, you're not stuck in traffic. You are traffic. Jesse has seen enough. He wanders out to the rich suburbs. Control tells him this is where the contestants begin the game.
The players are armed with survival kits, obviously some kind of contact sport.
More like the battling robots, where the contestant is inside controlling the robot and trying to smash the other one. The winner is determined by a team of referees called an insurance company.
A hostile confrontation.
Warned you, and I warned you.
Let me work.
You're not supposed to be here.
Control, I'm leaving.
All right, fine, but you're missing a very rich opportunity.
3 punks beating up an old man because he's removing a stump from his own property. Control has convinced Jesse that this is the kind of help he's supposed to be doing. Yeah, the kind that puts his unique skills to work.
What are you doing?
He's an old man. He's confused. You know how they are.
It's my lawn.
And they took it away? Where is his lawn?
What are you talking about, man? You know, man.
Somebody tell him he's standing on it. And that kid probably shouldn't do that.
The lawn. Give him back the lawn.
Oh, this guy's crazy. Put him down, man.
He shouldn't have done that either. Gentlemen, don't say I didn't warn you. Is this what you were trying to do, sir?
Who was that guy? Don't look at me. I'm stumped.
Want a job?
On a break?
Break what?
For lunch.
Lunch.
Taquitos, tamales.
Okay, I'll break now, you break later.
For
lunch. Now you got it.
And he'll do it as soon as he figures out what lunch is.
Fascinating. The same ritual is being performed at all of these dwellings.
Destroying vegetation?
It appears to have deep religious significance. Humans get down on their knees to pay homage to plant life they call lawns. These must be sacred grounds.
And they have no idea how much damage they're doing to their environments with their sacred lawns. I have one because I rent. Given the chance, I'd rip it out and put in a garden, but it's not my decision.
Flowers.
That's Erin. This is her home.
Hi.
Hello, Erin.
Is there something we can do for you? Yeah. You can let me live in my own house.
Her dad and stepmother have kicked her out of the house. They've been listening to some therapist who's into tough love. By the end of this episode, I wanted to find that therapist, get their license yanked, and help the family sue them for all the damage they've done.
I'm not going through this again with you, Erin. Nothing's changed.
Gee, I love you too. What kind of reception is that to give your own daughter? I don't care what she's done. The least you can do is acknowledge her. Maybe hear what she has to say. Tough love doesn't mean cruelty.
Strange creatures, these humans.
Yes. They seem to care more about their lawns than they do their young.
He's going to join her. He's pretty sure he sees another opportunity to put a mark in the good deed column.
You got a smoke?
What?
A cigarette. I take it you don't smoke.
I haven't so far. Is it something I should expect?
I'll just stop at the store. Oh, geez, you wouldn't have a couple of dollars you could loan me, would you?
Oh, money? Yes.
He says you're supposed to work for money, but she convinces him that it's a loan, she'll pay him back tomorrow. I don't know how much he gave her, but it was enough to make her do a little OMG dance. Now, remember last time when that scene in front of Grauman's Theater popped up? Here it is again.
Listen, round everybody up, and we'll meet at the diner, okay? Okay.
Yep, now use your finger to carve your name into the cement and you've got it.
Whoa. Star is born.
They haul him to a nearby cafe where the owner is all too familiar with these kids.
Stay with you? Yes. Stay with me. What's it gonna be? Food. We break for lunch.
Now there's only one thing wrong with this picture, but let's hear Erin's story while everybody chows down.
I can handle my father okay, you know. Well, most of the time anyway. She's the one. She's turned him against me. You wouldn't believe what she's done to me.
Your mother?
She's not my mother. She's my stepmother. My mother left a long time ago. She's my father's second wife.
Did anybody help her deal with her parents' divorce? Did anybody help her deal with a whole new person coming into her life to be a new mother? And if they were using that same therapist, don't they both need a good swift kick in the behind?
It was like living in prison, you know?
Yes, prison, I understand.
Now, I could not breathe. I mean, I really couldn't breathe.
She cut off your oxygen supply?
This was all the rules. I mean, I couldn't move without breaking one of her lousy rules.
Do this, do that, stand up, sit down, go to bed, wake up, say something, don't talk back. That's a bit that my dad used to do sometimes, and when I hear a kid her age complaining about rules, it's usually the first thing that comes to mind.
Erin, lighten up.
Hey, well, you're alive!
Yeah, I've been to some places that make lousy fries too. There's still a small problem with this, but right now Jesse has a more immediate question.
If it is so terrible for you to live at your house, why do you so much want to return there?
Because home is supposed to be your safe place. It's supposed to be the place where you're loved unconditionally, and no matter what you've done, the door is open and forgiveness awaits. But we're falling down on the job here. We haven't done a single recycled joke yet. Let's fix that. While Jesse's talking with Erin, Control is doing the yard work. Again, it's an old gag, but our jogger pulled it off well. His name is Joe Nesnow, and we've seen him before in Misfits of Science. The way he took off running, I doubt we'll see him again today.
So how long are we supposed to keep this up?
Until she sees that we mean it. That we're not going back to the way it used to be anymore.
There's no going back to anything if she gets hurt out there.
This could be the last chance left to save her life, Jim. I talked to the therapist again yesterday. He says that by taking her back now, we'd be telling her everything she's doing is okay. Cutting school, running away, getting high, lying, stealing.
We are not saying it's okay.
Just that she can get away with it.
No, that is not what you're saying. You're saying we don't approve of your behavior, but family is family and we will not abandon you. She says leaving her on the street is the only way to save her life, but I'd really like to hear the logic behind that one. She says, I won't go back. I can't live like that. Frankly, if it came down to a question of second wife or my daughter, I know who'd move out.
The therapist says Erin needs us to be firm now. That's the whole idea of tough love. That no matter how much it hurts us, we can't take her home until she's committed to making changes.
There are lots of other ways of exercising tough love that don't involve throwing her to the lions. When Mark was alive, we used to go visit a certain homeless camp regularly, take them food, feminine supplies, that sort of thing. This girl was 22. I don't know the whole story, but her parents kicked her out the moment she turned 18 and told her, you're an adult now, go be one. She didn't have a job, she didn't have a home, she had nothing, much like Erin here. Within a year, she was addicted to heroin and living in this camp, sharing a tent with a man who could keep her supplied. She looked me in the eye and said, what do I have to look forward to? My life is over. May as well give up and do drugs. At least that feels good. 22. That is the real life result of this kind of tough love.
Maybe you're right. This may be Erin's only chance to find herself. I don't know. I hope so. When I hear a siren screaming down some dark street in the distance, and I close my eyes, and I see her face.
We don't learn how old she is, but she's in high school, which means she's a child. Of course you see her face. You know this is wrong. My man, you need to stand up to a few people and stand up for your daughter because she is in trouble. Possibly the worst kind.
We're
Street urchin convention?
Hello, Dollface. I've been asking around about you.
I've been around.
Yes, indeed. I bet you have.
Who's your friend?
My name is Jesse. What's yours?
Oh, I'm Officer Starr. This here's Officer Roman.
We're here to serve and protect.
Yeah, these kids are easily exploited by all sorts of lowlifes.
He's just eating lunch with me, okay?
Well, it's a pleasure I haven't had yet, Dollface.
That's right, crooked cops. That particular cop is also a pedophile. He's determined to do things with Erin that a girl her age shouldn't have to do.
Oh, why don't you sit down and enjoy it?
A comedian? How'd you like us to run you in?
Jesse was serious, but these guys look for excuses to take offense and push somebody around. Now, remember that problem I was mentioning?
Oh, listen, I'll see you later, okay?
We got things to discuss, honey. Don't get lost.
Well, I'll see you later, okay?
You forgetting something? Like $54.20?
There it is. He gave all his money to Erin and she just left. He promises to have it tomorrow. He might have gone along with them if they hadn't used their clubs. Jesse doesn't like to be hit. It makes him hit back.
Try me.
Kind of like that. The chase with the police cars is pretty well done. Ultimately, Erin shows him a safe place to hide inside an abandoned church.
Come on. We live upstairs. We used to have our own places, but a girl got attacked by this crazy guy one night. So we figure it's safer if we just stay together. Hey, Mike, we kind of take care of each other. Not so bad.
It's not so bad.
There are probably a dozen kids living up here.
I'm sorry about what happened, Jesse.
Why wouldn't they take dollars tomorrow like you would?
Because too many people would rip them off. Cheat them?
I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
You would have really gone back there tomorrow, wouldn't you?
As soon as I got money.
You can't let people rip you off, Jesse. Not even me. I won't do it again.
She's slowly realizing this guy is for real. He's a genuinely nice person and he wants to help her. No strings, no expectations. As I said, he's for real. Some people don't appreciate that.
What's he doing here?
It's our fault. He's in trouble.
This place is for kids, man. You better leave.
He's with me.
Yeah, well, our friends ain't gonna like it.
Well, they don't have to know. He stays. If you want to, I mean.
Well, it's a nice place you have here.
Well, then he earns to stay like everybody else. You understand? So you in or out?
Work, yes, I want to work.
Good.
He won't be so enthusiastic when he learns the kind of work they do.
We're on a cruise ship to Cabo San Lucas for a week.
The security system covers the first floor only.
No problem. The dogs are kenneled. There should be a breeze.
We'll be cruising the neighborhood if you have a problem.
This is a rip-you-off, isn't it?
This is how we survive. We steal.
But they don't pick pockets or shoplift from small stores. They hit the big places and pull the big heists because those cops are covering for them.
Where's the girl?
In trouble.
Why aren't you helping her?
I don't know how to. She doesn't fit into her world any better than I fit into mine.
Control is telling Jesse that everything for handling family issues is in the video data banks, and most families resolve their problems in exactly half an hour. Somebody desperately needs to explain to that thing the difference between fiction and documentary. Yes, in 1989 there was a difference.
Good night's work. Hey, you guys are doing a great job. Great job. Hey. Stop. I think they're ready.
Hell yes, they've earned it, huh?
What?
Step up in the world, my man.
What do they expect him to do with them? Supposedly, the cops run interference for them so they never encounter anybody. And I've never heard anything about the rats in LA being as big as the ones in New York, so why? I don't think Erin likes the idea very much. I might trust her to know what to do with one of those, throw it in the nearest trash bin. Those other guys, yeah, not so much.
Hey. How about if you and I go someplace and celebrate, Dollface?
No thanks.
Oh, come on. What do you give me such a rough time for?
Because you're a pig.
Leave the lady alone. Look, if he gives you a hard time, you just call me. You understand?
Thanks.
Wait. We still got some business to discuss.
It'll have to wait. Jesse's cutting into this little dance.
Erin, you can leave now.
Jesse, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Jesse. How long you been here anyway?
I don't think he was expecting ranged weapons. He's more of a melee guy. I don't know how many times I've asked this question. Why do they always go up? There's nowhere to go once you get there. Okay, there's nowhere for most of us to go. I want to see their report on why they both emptied their pistols, assuming they file a report. These two will most likely pretend it never happened. Jesse knows what he has to do. He has to find a way to put this family back together.
Yes?
Oh. Mrs. Parker, my name is Jesse. I need to talk to you about Erin.
Is she all right?
Are you a policeman?
No. I have been with the young people. It is my mission to help.
Oh, like a social worker. Come on in.
He doesn't know what a doorbell is for, so he rings it several more times. Hey, social workers tend to be a bit odd. Just go with it, folks. He wants to arrange a meeting between them and Erin, with him acting as mediator.
Erin is in need to return to the family unit. Like Princess, Kitten, and Bud.
Well, it sounds like you've helped quite a few of them.
I can forgive them for not recognizing the kids from the old sitcom Father Knows Best. I can forgive Jesse for not knowing those shows are entertainment. I can't forgive Control for any of it. He's supposed to be the one with the knowledge to guide Jesse. I know he's the comedy relief, and in many ways this is a comedy show. But that points up one of the show's failings. He's not funny. The parents agree to meet with Erin and talk, but Dad has some business to attend to first.
Yeah, and sometimes securities and sometimes industrial diamonds, right? Isn't that what you said?
Hey, don't worry. No one's going to get hurt if that's what you're caring about.
You do whatever you want to do.
We can't do it without you, honey.
It's a little fuzzy, but he travels a lot in a private plane, and apparently he moves some valuable stuff from place to place. We don't get any details, but considering that mansion he lives in, it must pay pretty well. They want Erin to betray her dad and find out what he's carrying and when, so they can relieve him of it. She wants none of it.
What the hell is your problem? That's the guy who kicked you out on your rear end. He doesn't care if you eat scraps out of the garbage can.
Hey, everybody, mellow out, mellow out. Hmm? Don't push the lady if she don't want to be pushed.
Do you think I'm stupid? Lay some dope on her and she'll come around? Let me out of here. I'll call a cop. An honest one.
Little girls like you disappear off the streets all the time. It's good to know who your friends are.
William Sadler knows how to be truly scary. He plays characters like this a lot, which is known as taking advantage of your assets. He has that hard, chiseled face and those eyes that can bore holes in you like no laser ever did. He's been in 4 adaptations of Stephen King books, and he's played the Grim Reaper 3 times in other movies, to name just a few of his stranger roles. One of his best-known roles is Haywood in The Shawshank Redemption. It seems he didn't have high hopes for the movie. I like what he said about it. Nobody knows what a Shawshank is, and redemption sounds religious, so who's going to go see that? Jesse sets up the family meeting. Control has given him an earpiece so that no matter what comes up, he'll scan the video database and come up with the right thing to say.
Hi. Erin, we're glad you're here.
So am I.
Why aren't we doing this at home?
Oh, well, the therapist said it's better to meet on neutral ground.
Daddy, you call the place where you work neutral ground?
Would you prefer to meet in some back alley on Hollywood Boulevard?
Not helping, Dad. Those kinds of remarks are what start arguments. What's wrong with a nice restaurant? This isn't neutral ground. He's in charge of the place, so he still has the option to kick her out.
Now, hold on there, Bub. I think we ought to hear what Chip has to say.
Jesse's right. Erin, we want to be a family again.
Me too.
Good. Good.
It's not going to be easy. I think we both realize that. We need help, or it's not going to work.
What do you mean?
We talked to your therapist this morning at school, and she believes that it's best if you finish out the semester.
I'm not going back there.
That sparks an argument. Control has the answer.
Erin, you can't get what you want by running away.
I didn't run away. You kicked me out.
From school.
I just want to come home.
Don't you understand, Beeve? You can't do what you want to do just because you're sharing a room. Wally's got rights, too.
Jesse, our problem is a little bit more complicated than this TV therapy or whatever it is you're trying to do.
Uh-oh.
You know what I hear? Lots of therapists with lots of theories, none of which is working to solve their issues. You know what I don't hear? Anyone asking why Erin doesn't want to go back, why she acts out, why her behavior is in such a tailspin. I'm sure the therapists have all kinds of theories about that too, but has anyone asked Erin?
Listen, I don't want to fight anymore. You have no idea how hard it is for me out here.
Then let us be your parents.
I am.
And finish the semester at school.
The tuition is very expensive, Erin, and it's not refundable.
All you care about is the money.
That's not fair.
I wish we knew more about this school and why Erin doesn't want to go back. Stepmom, named Sue in the credits, doesn't seem to think that matters. And whether she likes it or not, she is the one who brought up the money.
I just need a rest right now. I don't even want to think about school.
A rest? You just want to come home so that you can rest? Well, that's not good enough.
She's not listening. Erin is saying that living on the street has worn her down and she needs some time to build herself back up again. And not good enough was the wrongest thing she could have said.
Oh, well, nothing's good enough for you. I'm never good enough. And all your lousy rules aren't going to make me good enough either.
Which rules are we talking about? Are we talking about being home on time, about going to school, about not smoking, about eating a decent meal?
Jesse, in American slang, we call this losing control of the room.
Wait a minute now. We have to move more slowly with professional help.
Forget it, Daddy. Just forget it.
They've had too much professional help already, and look where it's gotten them. Someone needs to listen to this kid. Sue says, yes, let's listen, but she has her own definition of that. And again, I have to say, I have yet to hear anybody ask why she behaves the way she does. If she doesn't want to go back to the private school, offer her public school. Try to compromise. If she was 9, this approach might have some merit. She's not 9. Parents have to adjust their approach to their kids to match the kids' growth and development. What worked before puberty isn't going to work after. And when you try to force it, it can make the kid angry enough to do something really stupid. With the key, she breaks into her dad's files and finds the information the dirty cops want.
Industrial diamonds. Just like you said, Dollface. Bringing them in tomorrow.
I couldn't find any information at all about Darcy Marta, but I'm impressed with her performance. The regret on her face could bring you to tears.
It's not my fault. I want to come home. They won't let me.
It takes two sides to fight a battle, Erin.
And if one side stops, the conflict is over.
And that side loses.
What's left to lose?
Valid question. She's lost her home, her education, her dignity, her honesty, her self-worth. What's she hanging on to?
I can't change the way I am.
I said that once.
What happened?
I'm here. That's the problem for people like us. If we don't learn to live within the rules, there's no place to fit in. No place in the universe.
And sometimes you have an undiagnosed mental illness so that no matter how hard you try to follow the rules and fit in, it really is never good enough. But it gives you lots of great stories to tell when you become a YouTuber.
Jesse! Jesse! I think I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, and the Titanic bumped into something. But never fear, Jesse is here. They close the blinds and put the hoods on because they also have to change their pants and they don't want to see each other's peepees.
$10.75.
I just gotta run in and get cash from my desk.
Damn. She double-crossed us.
It's worse than that. Neither of them paid the cabbie.
No, hey, wait. Yeah, this is 43. Give me a cop out here at the airfield.
Yep, real cops are on the way.
Hey! You're under arrest.
Daddy!
Erin, what are you doing?
This was supposed to be a simple grab and run. Now it's a complicated grab and run.
What are you doing?
I'm calling it off.
Are you crazy?
Nobody's calling anything off.
There was no reason to do that. The LAPD didn't exactly have a sterling reputation in 1989, which is probably what prompted this episode. Corruption was rampant, and so was bullying. 2 years later, the infamous Rodney King incident would send public opinion into the toilet and beyond. And even today, we see it too often. Bullies become cops so they can push people around legally. And it's going to keep happening until police departments everywhere start screening for guys like Officer Stoff here.
I can't believe I did this. I'm sorry.
It'll be okay.
I love you, Daddy.
I know, honey.
Cabby called in an alarm. There's going to be a patrol car here any second.
Everybody outside. Move it!
The plan is to have Mr. Parker fly them out of there in his helicopter. I count 7 people. I hope his chopper has the extended cab.
We'll take her along so he doesn't try anything. What about us? We'll be in touch. Hey! No way, man. Back off.
He's going to find out that he didn't hit Jesse nearly hard enough, and handcuffing him to a Jeep is a minor inconvenience.
All right, get this thing into the air. Here we go.
I'll let you folks tell me what's wrong with this picture. You have to admit, a full-size Jeep makes a great anchor. The best part is nobody can see what the problem is down there, so all they know to do is scream at each other. But you know what they say, a Jeep is only as strong as its weakest handcuff. I think I see Jesse's next job, fence removal. He needs something a little more solid. Something remarkably like that. The engine is starting to smoke and the police are here. Time to set it down.
Let's go, hon. Yeah. Freeze! No, no, they're the ones that tried to rob us. He stopped them.
I think he's waiting for the other 2 cops to argue, but they know this guy is a prominent citizen, and if he says they're dirty and tried to rob him, they're dirty and tried to rob him. And now that she's sorted some things out with her parents and is back home, Erin and her friends can tell the world all about all their other robberies too. I keep telling them they shouldn't hit Jesse. When you do that, things tend to go south for you real quick.